Hi, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this trifold leaflet in Word. Now the first thing we need to do is to format our page correctly. So this is just an A4 page, and what we need to do is to get it to this. So this is something I have formatted earlier. Now what you can see that we need to do is to split our page into 3 columns, but they're not equal columns, because the third flap that needs to fold inside our leaflet needs to be just slightly shorter, just to allow that fold over when we fold the front cover over. So this is how we need to lay it out. We need 10 centimeters for the inside 2 columns to the left and center, and then the right column needs only to be 9.7 centimeters. So this is the inside of our leaflet. The outside of our leaflet, where we'll have our front cover, the back, and the back of the folding, the bit that you fold into your leaflet, needs to be laid out like this. So you've got 9.7 centimeters for the folding, again it being a little bit shorter. Then you've got the back at 10 centimeters and the front at 10 centimeters. So let's show you how to format your page. So first of all, go up to the Layout tab, go to Orientation, and turn your page to Landscape. The next thing we need to do is to get rid of our margins. So again, on the Layout page, go to Margins, click on the drop down and go all the way down to Custom Margins. Now within custom margins, what we need to do is set all of these to 0. So just highlight them, hit 0, all the way down for all 4 margins, and then just click OK. When this dialog box comes up, just click Ignore. As you can see now, we don't have any margins at all. If you look at the rulers, you can see we don't have any margins at all. If you can't see your rulers, just go up to View, and then make sure you've just checked ruler. Now the best technique that I can find to find our distances is to go up to Insert, go to Shapes, click on the drop down and select Lines. My cursor then has changed into a cross, and if I hold my cursor down, hit the Shift key and just drag down, you'll have a perfectly vertical line on your page. Now that your line is selected, you can see these green balls at either end. Hover over it until the cursor turns into a double-headed cross, which can be a bit tricky. And as you drag left and right, you can see that these numbers change when it says left, and the numbers change. Now that is the distance from the left-hand margin. Now since we haven't got any margins, that is the distance from the edge of your page. Now we're going to start off doing the inside page, so I need 10 centimeters between the left hand margin and the edge of my first column. Now the difficulty with Word is that it can be a bit clunky and it doesn't always fit perfectly to 10 centimeters. So what I generally try to do is to get that line as close to 10 centimeters as I possibly can. At the moment I can get it to 9.95, which for me is close enough. Once I've done that, I'm going to copy and paste this line, so make sure it's selected, the green balls are appearing at both ends, and then just Command or Control C, Command or Control V, and then just grab this line. Now because we want 10 centimeter column and then another 10 centimeter column, we need to move this to 20 centimeters. So then this final column will be around 9.7 centimeters. And the way to check that is if you go to Insert, Shape, and just draw a rectangle from the edge here across your first line, and then copy and paste it, you can see that that will fit perfectly between those 2 lines. And then you can see here that it overlaps, meaning that this final column is actually smaller, which is exactly what we want. And that means you can just check your distances. Now, once you've done that, we can either go ahead and design this inside cover, or you can make the second page. It's up to you. Now, for demonstration purposes, I'm actually going to go ahead and design this first page because it just makes the demonstration just a little bit easier and it doesn't move around quite as much. So the first thing we're going to do is to insert an image. So I'm just going to insert picture, and I'm just going to use the stock images available in Word, but obviously you'll have your own images to insert for your leaflet. So I'm going to make a travel leaflet, so I'm going to put in travel, and then I'm going to go down and select an image of my choice, which is this one here, and then I'm just going to click insert. Now this image is too big for what I want. I want it to just simply go along the top here. Now if I show you the demonstration one, you can see my image is just along the top here. So what we need to do is to crop it. So I've selected my image. You know it's selected because you can see these little squares around the outside. Then make sure you're on picture format, which you will be if you've selected your image, and then go over to the crop tool and just click. Now you can see all these little black markers around the edge of your image, and then just drag the marker up. Now don't worry about the position of the image, just worry about how much space you want this image to take up. So I want it to take up about this much, and now you can move the image to where you want it to be. So I'm going to move mine to around about here, and then I'm just going to hit the enter key, and it's cropped my image. Now make sure you click away from your image so it's not selected, and now I'm going to go and choose a second image, which I'm going to select this one here, and that's just to add a little bit of interest to my leaflet. Click insert, and as you can see my image has come up on a separate page. Don't panic, all you need to do is right click, go to wrap text, go down to in front of text, and then just grab the corners and reduce the size of it, and then move it to where you want it on your leaflet. Now this, as you know, is the inside, so this will be the right hand side of your leaflet once you've opened it up. I'm just going to sit that on the edge there, and now I'm going to insert a logo. So I'm again going to use the stock images from Word, go to icons, and then I'm going to type travel, then I'm going to use this icon here. Just click on it, click insert, and again you'll have your own logos. Now if this happens once you've inserted your image, your icon, your picture, doesn't matter what it is, and it won't move, again do exactly the same thing, right click, go down to wrap text, in front of text, and then you can move it around. Now I'm going to increase the size of this whilst holding down the shift key, because then I will maintain the ratio and the dimensions. Now you can go ahead and change these icons if you want to. If I click on this icon, I go to graphics format and go along to convert to shape. Just move that down again. When you select this image, you can either double click on it, or you can go up to shape format and go along to this format pane icon here. When you do that, you can access this menu here. Go to the bucket icon, click on fill, go to solid fill, and then click on the colours down here. So if I wanted to change it to red, you can see I've selected the colour red and I've changed my icon to red. Now if I want to choose a different colour that perhaps matches my leaflet, then go down to more colours, and then this dialog box will appear with your colour wheel. You can either move this round and select a colour of your choice, or to allow it to match your leaflet, click on the eyedropper tool, and then you can move this anywhere in your document and select from a colour within here that you can use for your logo or icon, it doesn't matter. So let's try the green here. So you can see the colour that I've selected is in here, and then just click OK. And then you can see it's changed to that slightly green colour there. Perfect. Now let's select some graphics boxes and text boxes. In fact, we've got one more image to insert, so let's go back up to stock images. Let's image here, click insert. Once again, it's gone to a different page, right click, wrap text in front of text, reduce the size of it, and then we can insert it at the bottom here, and then just increase the size of it so that it will go across that middle column. So again, when you open up your leaflet, this will be the center column. Now, when you've inserted this image, you've produced guides left and right of this image, because obviously it's on the guide here and here. Now, at the end of this, we're going to have to take these lines out, and sometimes it's easier to take them out before you start adding additional stuff, and this is the time to do it. And then you can use this image here as your guide. So I'm going to click on this line here and then just press delete, and then click on this line here, and then you can see I've highlighted it, it's a little green ball at the end, and then just press delete. So this photograph here is now my guide, that I know this is my central column, right hand column, left hand column. So now let's insert some text and some graphics. So insert, shape, rectangle. I'm just going to click and drag. Now, of course, you can always put all your graphics and text over two different lines. It doesn't matter. So if you want the graphics to actually overlap columns despite the fold, then that's absolutely fine, which is what we're going to do here. Now, once you've placed your box, you can then go ahead and change the colors. So again, make sure it's highlighted. Go over to the Format Shape menu over here, and then go to the bucket icon. Then go to Solid Fill, go down to the color here, go down to More Colors, and once again let's use the eyedropper tool and select from these colors. Let's go for a slightly darker green over here, and here again you can see that green here. Now, the reason I'm selecting from the images is because it sort of ties everything together. So let's just go over there again, click OK. Now, if the screen's not suitable, obviously you can go back and change the colours accordingly. Now, if you're not aware, all shapes will come with a border line. If I just click off, you can see there's a little blue border around the outside of your shape. Now, we need to get rid of that. You can keep it if you want to and just change it to the same colour, or you can change it to another colour. It's completely up to you, but I'm going to get rid of it. And the way to do that is to, again, make sure it's highlighted. Go back over to the paint pot icon, go down to line and select no line. Alternatively, the quick way to do it is select the shape, and then you can use these two here. So this is the shape outline or the border, and just click on the drop down and you can take it away by selecting no outline, or you can choose a colour. And the shape fill again, click on the drop down, select from a colour, or go to More Colours where you can find your colour wheel and eyedropper tool. Now, once you've got this, we're just going to insert some text. So I'm just going to click away and then go to Insert, Text Box, Draw Text Box, and then just click and drag out a text box. Now, yet again, a text box will come with a white background and a black border. If I just click away, you can just see there's a black border, and I want to get rid of both of those. So again, select the text box, make sure on Shape Format, Shape Fill, no fill, Shape Outline, no outline. Double click inside, and then you can just add your text. I'm just going to select some random text. Now, I'd like to change this text, so I'm going to double click inside and then press Command or Control A to highlight all of my text, then go up to the Home tab. And then here, obviously, you can change all of your text, the font, the size, the colour, the underline, the bold, the italics, all that sort of thing. So firstly, I'm going to change my text to white, and then I'm going to select an alternative text. I'm going to select, font Apple Braille here. And then it doesn't quite fit my text box, so I'm going to reduce the size. So I'm going to go to 10.5. Maybe we can get away with 11. There we go. And then if I just move this bar up. Now, if you want this text box perfectly in the center of this box here, then just hold your Command or Control key down, select this box as well, this rectangle, go to Shape Format, go along to Align, click on the drop down and select Align to Middle. And there you can see that these two squares here are perfectly aligned. So I'm just going to select some more text and show you how to edit it in a slightly different way. I want to copy this text box. We've already turned the text white and got rid of the backgrounds and the borders, so I don't want to have to repeat that. So all I'm going to do is copy and paste it. So you can either use the normal ways to do that, Command Control C, Command Control V. There is a quicker way. If you hold down your Alt key, you can see my cursor's changed. Just click and drag and it will produce another box. So again, I'm going to select all, and then I'm going to select my text. Now I'm going to move this text into the center. So again, highlight it all, go to the Home tab and select Center. I'm then going to change the font to Avenir. We're going to go to Avenir Black, and then what I'm going to do is just slightly increase the size of it. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the spacing between each of the characters, just for a little bit of additional interest. So I'm going to right click, go down to Font, make sure your text is selected, and this dialog box will appear. If you go to the Advanced tab here and go down to Spacing, this is under Character Spacing, and then go along to By, I'm going to put 20 points in and click OK. And you can see how the spacing has changed for my text. I also want to increase the distance between the words. So all I'm going to do is add a space bar. So click Return, go to the end, Return key, click Return, and then we've just spaced those words out. Then I'm just going to move this again. I want to make sure it's in the middle of this box here. So again, hold the Command key down, click on the large green box, go to Shape Format, Align, Align to Middle. And there you go. And then if you want to move it left or right, it's best to use the arrow keys because of course it's all now lined up. Now I'm going to move this logo so it's in the middle here. Now the next thing to do is to create some more text and a text box here, but we've done quite a lot of the work already. So all I'm going to do is just use a lot of what we've done to just copy and paste. So I'm going to select the green box and then hold my Alt key down and move that over to copy it. And then I'm just going to move the dimensions of that to suit the look I need. And don't forget, this is the edge of your column here, so just butt that up. If you want to, you don't have to, you can put it in the middle if you want to, it's entirely up to you. Just butt that up to there. Not quite the spacing, so let's just move it slightly. There we go. And again, if you want to change the colour of this, you can keep it the same if you want to. So I'm going to select it, go back over to my bucket icon here, go down to my colour, go to More Colours, go to my eyedropper tool, and then perhaps I'll select something a bit lighter, click OK and see how that looks. Perfect. I'm going to add some more text in here. So again, I'm going to copy and paste this text box by holding down the Alt key, clicking and dragging. And then just for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to copy and paste this text. There we go. And again, if you want to center this, just hold down the Command or Control key, make sure you're on Shape Format, go along to Align and select Align to Center. And then your text is in the center of your column. Now again, you can center all this again, so if you want the word centered, then double click inside, Command or Control A, go to the Home tab, and then you can use this center text icon here if you want to. You don't have to. I'm going to leave mine over to the left. And then finally, I'm going to produce a little box here and show you how to use the transparency slider. So again, I'm going to grab the rectangle, hold my Alt key down to click and drag away and copy and paste text box, a shape. I'm going to move it over here. And then I'm just going to use the blues from these boats. So again, go over to the bucket icon, click on the colour icon, select more colours, select the eyedropper tool, and then I'm going to scroll over and select this blue, then click OK. Once I've selected the blue, I'm going to go back over to the transparency slider, which is below the fill icon here, or the fill menu, and then just reduce the transparency. As you can see, we can begin to see the boats in the image below if you want to use the transparency slider. And then I'm going to create some additional text using this already formatted text here. Hold my Alt key down, click and drag. I'm going to change the text, double click inside, Command or Control A, and then you can see this text doesn't quite fit. So what I'm going to do is go back and reduce the distance between these characters. So I'm going to select all, right click, go down to font, and then I'm just going to put in 10, press enter. And then I'm going to create a space between those two words again by hitting the return key. And then to ensure these words are in the center of this blue box, hold the Command or Control key down to select both items. Go to Shape Format, click on the drop down and select Align to Middle. Then click Away and you can see how that looks. Perfect, so that's the inside of our leaflet done, and all the techniques I've used. You can change and alter, change the colour, add shadows, add borders. But what I'll do now is I'll go ahead and show you how to do the next step, which is the back of the outside cover of the leaflet. So all I'm going to do is to go to Insert and Page Break. Now, because it's laid out like this, we can actually utilise. Now here I'll show you a slightly different technique to finding where we need to be with our distances. So on this particular page, as we saw before, on this outside page we need to make it 9.7 centimeters, 10 and 10. So we used a slightly different technique here. Let's go up and insert a shape, and let's go to the rectangles again, click and drag. Once you've inserted your shape and you've selected it, if you go up to the menu bar, you can see here that it gives you the height and width of your shape. Now, if I put a width in here of 9.7, press enter, that is perfectly 9.7 centimeters wide. I copy and paste that, hold my Alt key down, and then click. It's highlighted both of them at the moment, so click away from it, click back on this one, go back up and change this one to 10, press enter, and then let's change the colour very quickly. So just whiz up to the top and select any colour you like, and then again we can select another one which we know is 10 centimeters. Change the colour quickly. Right, let's just get rid of all the borders. Shape outline, get rid. Shape outline, get rid. Shape outline, get rid. Let's just zoom in. And then we'll move this over to the left. And you can see now that this one fits perfectly in the middle of these. And now you can see this is where our column should be. So if we want to insert different things for the outside of our leaflet, these are our column dimensions. So that's just a slightly different technique. So let's just go back and have a look at our leaflet. So now we're going to insert another. So we're going to insert 3 more images and another logo, which we can copy and paste across, and then text boxes, which again we can copy and paste across. So first of all, let's go to Insert, Stock Image, Images. Let's go to Beach, select this image, insert, then again right click, wrap text, in front of text, and then we're going to crop the image here and then reduce the size of it. So again, that you can see the width moving here. So if we get the width to 10 centimeters, or as close to, that's 10.02, I'm sure it'll be fine. Then we can move the picture around. Pick this section here, and then just press enter. Now you can see it doesn't quite fit the page, but that's fine, because all I can do is hover my cursor over this bottom square whilst holding down my shift key and then just dragging it to the bottom. Perfect. So the next thing to do is to add this box here and this box here. Now, because we've kind of already done the work for ourselves by inserting these shapes, all we need to do is drag these down because it's already 10 centimeters. So we know that that's the correct column width, as we do for this one, and we can just drag this one down as well. So now we need to go ahead and change the colours of these two panels. And again, because we like to tie everything in with the colours, we're going to try and pick a colour from this area here. So select your shape, go to shape format, shape fill, more fill colours, eyedropper tool, and then you can go for something quite dark or a little bit lighter, it's up to you. So I'm going to select this colour, click OK. And then for this one, I'm going to select something a little lighter. So again, shape fill, more fill colours, eyedropper tool, and let's go for something slightly lighter. You can see which colour you've selected because it'll appear in this box here. So let's just go for something a bit lighter and click OK. If you're not happy, you can go back and change it, or if you like the colour but you want it a little bit lighter, go back up to shape fill, go to more colours. Your last colour was here. All you need to do is use this slider here to lighten or darken that particular colour. And click OK. So let's insert the two images that need to go in here. So let's go back over to our stock images, select this image here, click insert. Now if this happens when you insert an image and you can see the outline but you can't actually see the image, just right click immediately. Okay, so what's happened now is I've clicked on my shape. So what I need to do is just move it down. You can see the image behind here. Right click, wrap text in front of text. Now we need to reduce the size of it because it's massive. And then just move it down here. Let's just move this back up. And then we can move this to wherever we want. Now I'm just going to try to make an equal distance between this gap here and this gap here. And then again we can make this as big or as small as you like. Now this canoe at the moment is not quite in the center for me between here and here, so I'm going to crop this image. So select the image, picture format, crop, then I'm just going to reduce. No, that's not done what I wanted it to do. Go back, click and drag it up to back there, and then press enter. This has moved over a little bit, so let's just select this box here and move it over slightly. Then we'll go ahead and select our next image. This one here, click insert. Again, it's gone behind. So if you're too afraid of clicking in this area, you'll see that wrap text comes up under this menu here, which is under the picture format tab. Click on the drop down and select in front of text. And then just reduce the size of it. And then just move that around, try and make sure those gaps are equal again. So then we're going to insert a little bit of text here again. So let's just grab this text box, hold down the Alt or Option key, click and drag. And then as you move this text box around, you can stretch out the sides to make your text fit exactly the way you want it to. So I think there's a bit too much text there, so I'm going to get rid of that last paragraph and move it to around there. Try and get that text lined up with the top of that image, around about there. And finally, we can have another text box down here with all our contact information. Just get rid of that, double click inside, Command or Control A and delete. Now I'm cheating and I've just copied and pasted those contact details from the other document. And again, I'm going to try and put this text in line with that image at the bottom. I'm going to try and line up the gaps either side as well. Sometimes it does take a little bit of moving around. So then we're going to put a little bit of interest with a logo in here. So we're going to grab this one. We're going to copy and paste it again by holding down the Alt key, clicking and dragging. Didn't work. Clicking and dragging. And we're going to make it just a slightly darker colour than this one here. So make sure it's selected, go to Shape Format, go to the bucket, go down to Colour. So go down to More Colours. Then eyedropper tool onto this colour, and then I'm just going to darken it. And then click OK. So it's the same colour, it's just a little bit darker. Then I'm going to increase the size of this icon whilst holding down my Shift key. And then I want to send this backwards so that obviously it doesn't go over the images and the text. So make sure it's selected, go to Shape Format, and then we need to send it backwards. Now if we send it to the back, it's going to send it behind all of our graphics and we won't be able to see it. So just keep clicking Send Backwards, and as you can see, it's starting to disappear behind the various text and text boxes. So there you go, it's disappeared behind this piece of graphic here. Once you're happy with it, if it stands out a little bit too much, then you can just change the transparency. So make sure it's selected, go back over to the bucket, go down to the transparency slider, and then just move that transparency slider along until you're happy. Again, you can move this round until you're happy, or you can even rotate it. There's a rotate circle at the top here, and we can rotate that as well. And then just click away. So once you're happy with your layout, again, you can go ahead and move all of this around, change the colours, the fonts, etc. Once you're happy with where everything is, you want to be able to output this so that you can either send it to a printer's or that you can do it on your own printer. It's completely up to you. So you can save this as a Word document and then print it out yourself, or you can go up to File, Save As. So if I was going to go to my desktop, go down to File, Format, and go down to PDF. And then you can go for best for printing, and then just click Export. Talks to you about your margins again, and it says some of your content might be cut off when you print. Do you still want to print? And you say yes. And then your document will appear. So if I open up my document, and this is my PDF file. So now I can send that to a printer's and they can print out my leaflet. So I hope that's helped you today. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below and I'll do my level best to answer them. If it has helped you, please subscribe and have a great day.